Good evening. Going from bed tonight, but I did at least leave my light on. Again, I'm set up with my night noise running, so forgive me if you hear a little bit of Vinny and Mike from the speaker there. And also, heads up, there is a stain on this bed from one of my minor nosebleeds. So, if I accidentally flip the phone down, you'll have to forgive me. And I miss my mustache. Blonde and wispy though it was. So, like a week or so ago, a friend of ours posted a big collaboration by the Longest Johns, who are facing a pretty big publicity surge because sea shanties are back in. And it was Leave Her Johnny, and they're doing the Wellerman next, and I want to participate. I've got to have my video submitted by Friday. It's technically Wednesday because it's like 2 in the morning, but you know, it's Tuesday for me. And I'm half waiting on I'm hoping my voice will clear up a bit, and I'm also hoping my mustache will kind of be back. Like, it's ridiculous that I'm worried about either one, because so many people turned out for the last one, and it went really big, so I can only imagine even twice, if not more, are going to turn out for this one. So I'm going to be on screen for like all of 3 seconds, tucked away in a corner somewhere, I guarantee it, and I worry about my mustache looking stupid. It's made me sad though, because I'm determined to do the tenor part. Not that I'm particularly a tenor, but one, I'm obsessed with harmonies, and the other two harmonies are too low for me. And like, I'm afraid that if I try to sing to the melody, I love harmonies so much, and I love doing the harmonies so much, that I'm afraid I would just catch myself harmonizing with the melody guy, and it not falling in line with any of the other 3 parts, and it just end up with mine getting tossed. And the sad thing is, I know for a fact, just 6 years ago, it still would have been right at the top of my range, but it would have been perfectly doable. And it is perfectly doable for 90% of the song. But the very last chorus goes right up to the tip of my range. And if I could get all this crud out of my chest, I think I could pull it off. But the problem is, right now, to hit it, I've got to kind of belt it out and get loud, and there's like a 75% chance that my voice is just going to crack while I'm being extremely loud. So it won't even really be coverable. But yeah, other than that, today was pretty slow. Just chilled with more Phantasy Star Online. I finally did catch up to a point where I talked last night about not knowing whether or not the story quests were just endless cutscenes because I had done so much of so many exploration quests without checking in on the cutscenes, and I confirmed today that that was true. I sat down and I said I'm going to catch up. I'm also was pleased to find out that as it goes, and you know, my character is in the field more, there are actual, there were a good 3 or 4 actual quests today that weren't just, here is a boss fight, have fun. There were those too, and they were good boss fights. One of the bosses that I've been running, so like every few hours or so, there's a like server-wide quest, and I'm learning now that they are just basically beefed up versions of the story quests. And also whatever event quest is going on right now. So like right now they're doing a Valentine's event, and I've run that quest so many times because it's like every other time it's the Valentine's quest, and that's fine. Or at least it wasn't until today when my third one of the day just broke. It just broke. The way this one is set up, you split up after the third encounter into 2 paths, and the two sides have to keep up on. To keep the two sides even with each other, there's 2 different checkpoints where all enemies have to be defeated on both sides before you can move on. And on one of the sides, just the second wave just didn't show up. It just didn't. It was not there. So like, it was taking so long to spawn. It was actually on the side I was on, and it was taking so long to spawn that I ran over to the other side to see if it was because they were having a hard time. And no, we did. That entire side showed up. We cleared all of the enemies and the 2 optional quests, which isn't required to push forward. And we were all just standing there like, well, now what? And the barriers are color-coded, and I've run it enough to know that it was the left side that hadn't cleared all their enemies, but it was because they just didn't proc. They did not show up. It was a shame. I'm more into this tonight. Well, I have a very obsessive personality when it comes to games. I say this often, but I'm either out within the first 5 hours, or I am there for the long haul. And it's pleasing to see that FSO has been PSO, technically. It's putting the P in fantasy all over again. It's been pleasing to enjoy it as much as I have. Like, it's very, very bare bones, but it's nice to be playing something where it's nice to play one of these MMOs where A, I'm not locked into my initial character appearance. Like, I can't change their race or their sex, but I can shrink them to half their size and turn them blue. Like, straight up set their skin tone to sky blue if I want, so. And while it is technically behind a paywall, the paywall is in-game currency. You can absolutely earn it. Like every other game that I know about, you're dropping $10 or something like that to change your appearance. Hell, I talk up how good Dissidia Opera Omnia is the mobile game that I'm obsessive with playing because I actually like playing it. But their costume packs are like $15. Granted, they come with in-game currency as well, but like you can't just buy the costume by itself. Then you get like, I think you get what you'd normally pay $10 for in the way of currency, so you're technically only paying $5 for an outfit. But at the same time, on the PS4, the Cydia NT, which again is the port of the arcade version from Japan, those costume packs are like $15 too. I want to say they're even like $20. Don't hold me to that, but they are ridiculous. They should be like $3 or $4 because it's like you're getting one costume for one character for a specific character. These aren't accessories that you can just stick on anybody. It's not like a cowboy hat. You can make Sephiroth wear it. That'll be funny. No, it's like, and here is Cloud's appearance from Advent Children. $15, please. And fuck off. Like, I get that they've gone free to play, but A, these costumes cost this much before it went free to play, and B, stop it. Get some help. Jesus. I mean, it's worth saying that there are in-game some appearance packs. See, this is a more comfortable position and it's a better to look at, but the lighting sucks. My right arm's going to sleep. That works. No, it doesn't. Okay, no, that works. We're good. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's just really ridiculous. So yeah, it's nice to be playing an MMO that's fairly gracious. With not having to spend real money on anything. Honestly, anything gameplay changing. Except, you have these little auxiliary units called mags that you don't technically need, but they're very helpful. Especially if you like to play a lot on your own for the most part, like I do. If anytime I'm doing through a new area or whatever, I like to figure it out at my own pace, and then I'll go back and do whatever. To be honest, the expeditions, which is where I like to get used to a new area and the enemies in it, remind me a lot of Destiny. Because basically the way they work is I can close my party off where no one can join my party directly, but occasionally another character doing the same quest on the same server, or on the same channel in the server, will swing by. Sometimes they stick around close and we tear through stuff. Sometimes they're doing their own thing and I'm about done with the room, or sometimes they're about done with the area, and then we move on. And the final boss is always just your party. It's single party area. So if you don't have anyone in your party, or just have NCPs in your party, which is another thing that's cool, you can not only hire the in-game, gradually you build the cast from the story, but also you can throw a copy of your character up for people to borrow, and you can borrow other people, and to keep them from being ridiculously powerful, they match to your level. I don't know how that works with the skill trees. I imagine there's some tweaking, or you might still have a little bit of an edge there, or a lack of one if you've been scaled up. But at the very least, you're not going to be like level 10 doing a level 7 quest with 3 maxed out characters following you around. I've always kind of hated Like, I almost had the original Destiny ruined for me by a well-meaning friend, and I don't hold it against them. Not at all. But, like, they'd been playing for a while. I had just started playing. I hadn't even figured out how the double jump for the Warlocks worked yet, and still thought it was garbage, because I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to talk. But, the bottom line is, it was like, oh, there's 2 of us now. We can do the hard level quests. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. And I just kept dying, and it just wasn't fun. And I was just getting dragged through it. And I almost quit. But I stuck with it long enough to catch up with another friend of mine. And eventually, his wife picked it up and played it. And we had a nice solid fire team for a long time. But now none of us play anymore. It's just gotten too much of an expensive hobby to stay on the razor's edge of Destiny. And it's kind of a kick in the dick when, like, don't get me wrong, I am all for making the game open. I'm not some elitist that says, you know, anybody that hasn't been playing since day one is garbage. But when I've dropped over $120 over the last 3 years on base game and expansions as they come out, and then you just make that shit free, it feels kind of like a kick in the dick. And on top of that, having to pay for PlayStation Plus, which, you know, I get it, play it on PC. I guarantee you my computer would not handle Destiny very well. And plus, you know, at the time, the friends I wanted to play with didn't have a rig. You know, now they have one better than me. But, like, it's just, you know, that's not the glory of a console. Just stick it in it, it's ready to go. And you don't have to worry about tweaking graphic settings unless the particle effects are just too much for you. You know, you don't have to worry about balancing it just right. You don't have to worry about whether or not your preferred style of playing is going to be entirely supported. Whether, you know, like, again, if you've, honestly, probably if you've got a monster rig, you're a mouse and keyboard elitist anyway, and you're going to spit on me for wanting to use a controller. But, you know, growing up, I didn't have a computer, really, and I certainly didn't have the internet to download and play games on, so guess what? I used the controller for, like, 19 years before I ever even tried to do a first-person shooter on a mouse and keyboard. Is mouse and keyboard pretty great? Yeah, it is. I don't have a desk. I play on a recliner. I'm not going to be doing precision shooting with the mouse on the arm of my recliner. One of the worst parts of, you know, like, honestly, my only real complaint of Subnautica is the PC version doesn't have very good controller support, especially not if you want to do mods. That just breaks everything. And that's not so much a dig at Subnautica as it is a dig at myself, because I'd reach over for my drink and my mouse would fall off my chair and the camera would spin around, and it would just, if normally I'd be like auto-chugging my way to a destination, and all of a sudden now I'm going the wrong way and I can't find my mouse because it's under my chair somehow, and oh, hi Mr. Reaper Leviathan. Bye, Seamoth. This has happened more than once. Anyway. Yeah, my neck hurts, so my neck hurts, and this has been 20 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up and go to bed. I'll catch you all tomorrow.